period, how long you would like to keep? Because I heard it was 30 minutes, isn't it? Or
Sorry?
no, I heard from Anne that you would like to have a meeting for 30 minutes. How much? Like how long you would like to have this meeting?
Oh, yeah, about 30 minutes is probably what it's gonna take.
Okay, super.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it shouldn't.
Good. Please go ahead. Yeah. It's
Perfect.
fine. Anyway, I blocked, around 45 minutes, so it's perfectly fine for me.
Okay, good. It won't take that long, I promise.
Sure. Thank you.
So I would just like to start off by asking what your story is with being an expatriate, especially within Danfoss.
Yeah. Okay. You mean I've been almost as an expert as a second time, so I don't know what experience that you would like to get.
Oh, I was just asking where you're in Finland right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and have you been an expatriate for Danfoss otherwhere?
Yeah. Okay. I have initially I've been an expat for a kind of a 1.5 years in Denmark. That starts in mid of 2014, and then now it's again with Finland, where it was just started 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And probably should I explain the procedure or should I explain the difference or challenges? So what would you like to?
Yeah, how long have you been away? When did you know where you were gonna go?
Okay, I was working with Danfoss for past 5 years, and then I have been working in the global quality team where I was driving a couple of global projects, and then there was a requirement that I need to fulfill and work with the global team, where the global team is located in Finland. I have a couple of process managers, and also we have a big ERP implementation, which is our Danfoss digitalization transformation project, which is being initiated, and I'm mainly asked to come to Finland to support the Finland region for those implementation, where I was working earlier from India.
Yeah.
And then I came to know that I have to start the project around November, and then I had to, of course, change all my location, and then where I had my family, and then I started looking for all the options, and then the moving opportunities.
Yeah.
And finally, I found that it's good to go with Finland, and then it's also important for my career to set up for next 2 years where I wanted to be. And then we decided, and I requested my wife, and she was also fine. We have a baby around 1.5 years. It's like 16 months of baby. So we thought we need to take care, because in India it's around 30 degrees Celsius, where you have here minus 20 at the time. So I thought, like, okay, let's try to work on those things, and then of course then we started working on those things, and I started moving here around end of December. That's like beginning of January, but I'm supposed to be in December, but due to some of the visa challenges, I had to wait for the residence permit from Finnish embassy.
Right.
So it took quite long time for me to travel from there to here.
Okay.
And then beginning of the week is what we moved, and somehow initially it was quite a challenge with this weather. Then of course now we're just getting settled. We're settling down.
Yeah.
And then I used to frequently travel to Germany, and then this expat category was more comfortable because I used to get really a very good benefit, from a company, whereas it's a kind of a win-win. So the accommodation and then the transportation here, Danfoss supports me. And then it is a furnished house that I get within those selected budget, and it's Danfoss is taking care of that. So probably I would be getting a kind of just for the cost of living and all those things I have to take care. And then other than that, I'm getting this kind of support where it's perfectly manageable when you come initially. And there is a team relocation where Danfoss is also have a tie-up, and then they would call us and then support us in terms of getting all the visa and then the other permit-related activities. And also even after we came here, there is a lot of local activities. You have to do like bank account opening and then local KLA registration. And there are a lot of office works or administrative works that you need to do. There also they supported well, and also in terms of finding houses and then getting into the place at right time and having a contract with the house owners and all those things. So in that way, I got a very good communication with those teams, and it's been well arranged. And now I'm also got a kind of a car which is leased with nearby, so that's also arranged when I came. And I have been well connected with the HR in Finland, and it was perfectly working well from my side. And then that's a very short story about you.
Yeah, so you were told that you had to leave in November, and then you already moved in the start of January. Was that understood correct?
Basically the conversation started, June, July about this, and then we should supposed to start. There was a recommendation that we would start by November, and then there was a delay in the project, but also I have been trying to get all the basic stuffs before November, and due to the visa restrictions, if I have to come to Finland, I need to get the apostille, which is the external Ministry of Affairs, Foreign Ministry of Affairs in India. I have to get this sign, or maybe it's a kind of a certificate. So that took me almost 4 weeks.
Okay.
That also cost 1 month of delay, and then after getting that, basically it would take 2 to 3 weeks for the card to get printed and come. And in my case, it's also delayed for another 4 weeks. That's just like I got it only on the 5th week. That was a reason, 2 to 3 weeks was not as per the plan. Then I had to come little delayed.
Right. Were you? I understood from Anne that you were offered cross-cultural training before you left, right?
Yes.
And did you take?
Not before I left, after reach here.
Oh, okay. First after reaching here. Okay.
Yeah, because there was a request like whether would you like to take before or after.
Yeah.
The reason I have chosen after. The reason because before it's just like imagination.
Yeah.
Because you don't know anything in real. But if you would like to get the training before, and you can just go read and find a lot of articles, and you can find a lot of videos. So that works before.
Yeah.
After, why I choose, because after I came here, I was living 1 month, maybe 2 to 3 weeks I was living, and then I requested the training. So that I know how people are, how people react, and then when I go to the supermarket or when I go to some petrol station or wherever I go into this public, so then I observed how people are and how people behave, or how we should provide or behave, and how kids are, like how we can mingle. So these things, I thought it is necessary that first we align, that I come here, and then I see how the country is, then I take the cross-cultural training. Then I can ask all the questions to the mentor who was traveling.
Yeah, yeah. And did you get the 7 hours from C3 Consulting as well?
Yes, I have received a kind of a day training that it starts around 10 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and then it was around 4 to 5 o'clock. I would say it's 7 hours.
Yeah.
But it was not happened unfortunately in office because due to my ethic, the project starts and I couldn't do it in weekday. But it happened, on weekend.
Yeah.
On Saturday. So unfortunately, we couldn't use office during the weekend.
No.
So I had to invite him for my home, and then the training happened in home because anyway, I have to take my wife also for this training. So
Right.
that was perfectly fine.
Yeah. When you took the role or the position, were there certain expectations of you that you could fill the position in a different country? So I assume they had trust in that you could fill the position you were supposed to do, but doing it in another country is a different thing. So were you expected to, after having the cross-cultural training, to just be able to do that?
Exactly. It was not a kind of a big tough for my role that I'm doing here because, as I told you, I was also part of earlier was in a short-term assignment of 1 year in Denmark. So I'm well connected towards this culture, European culture, and then I've been working with a kind of a kind of a similar cultural even before Danforth. So they had a faith in me, and they know that I could fulfill the role.
Okay.
But as you know, that there could be also a kind of a difference, between I would say Denmark and Finland and Sweden. And
did you get any cultural training before you went to Denmark then?
Yes, that was not a kind of a big training like this. Okay. It was a kind of a standard 2 hours of normal training in a link communicator or Skype.
Okay, so that was not with
yeah, that was not a big one like this, for sure. Okay. And then anyway, I used to travel a lot with this, and then I have all my stakeholders in Denmark, so I thought it was not quite necessary there. And I know now, after taking up the position, of course, there are certain requirements, and then I need to, of course, mingle with the colleagues over here. Yeah. And as an international company, I will not have an issue as long as we speak in English, but it's also important to know the behavior and also the reaction or how you should react and how people behave during the meetings and those things.
Right.
And also, sorry?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. And also certain cases, like you can see, there could be how people are in taking risk and how people are in terms of, finding solutions and how people are, in terms of when you go and request and when you when you expect them. So what kind of expectation you can have when a particular task should be done, has to be done or will be done. So during this, between this, you can identify, how people can really mingle with you or what you can expect. That's important. So at least I need to know when I work with the people and when I ask something, when they reply. So I need to know that, okay, if I'm rising at this kind of a question, then maybe what kind of expectations that I can have. Yeah. Or should I request more and more, or I should not request? So something like which is really important.
So did you experience any cultural barriers where you found it challenging?
Not really in the office, but somehow in outside. When we go, some kind of a public where you go. Example, you take your child to a Hoplop where it is a kind of a child game place where we can ask them to play in many areas. For those places and all, it's not like quite often, those people will mingle with you, or you, even though if you ask, then might be people can think why I have to go and talk unnecessarily. So this is something which is also I just really understood from the cultural.
Yeah.
And it is only, it's not like, because the culture is different, because in India if you have a neighbor, even though we don't know each other, it's like first we go and invite, and voluntarily we would invite them for a dinner.
Yeah.
So it's very common as Indian culture that you would invite if you know someone, and then just for it. And it's not a very common here. So this kind of things could really help in terms of, align with the cultural activities between this country.
Yeah.
In that way, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel like the challenges you mostly experienced were in relation to your national culture clashing with the new culture?
I don't see it's a challenge, because I always see it is a part of your I would say it's your culture, and like what I was living, or what I have been told to live in India, which I consider that this is my culture, the same way people consider that their culture, and this is what the way the standard people will also behave, and so in that way, I don't see it is a challenge. So what I would like to know is, I just wanted to know the way how I have been living, how the people are here are living, so that I can adapt according to that. Because I always see it is unique. Everybody and every country will have their own culture.
Yeah.
But when you go to other country, it's not that you will be having a challenge. You need to know the same way what you have a uniqueness, what the other country people will have. And then if you know that, then you need to know, okay, when some situation comes like this, you should not act like this, you should act in the other way.
Right.
So if you act like how you do, then it is a challenge. You will feel like a challenge. If you understand, okay, this is not the way that they will understand, then you will know, okay, we need to think from their point of view, and then you can get the things done.
Yeah. Do you remember which subjects the cross-cultural trainer worked with you?
He was working. We were working with almost most of these areas, like how people in general will behave, and what kind of risk and neighborhood, and then what is in general about people will think about it, and then but it's a kind of a normal general topics, and also we have been discussing on the people among, like, Helsinki city area, how it would be, and then the Vasa, like somewhere little outside, how it would be, and in general what is the government, kind of how the government and then the relationship is formed, and then the companies, and then the people, how it is, and how the professional life, and then the personal life, and how people give importance to the personal life, and all those things.
Yeah.
So basically, when I have, I think Rana Singh, I could remember. So when I have this guy, then I used to relate many things from my side, and I used to ask a couple of questions, related to, of course, how people are task oriented, or how people are group about mingling with others, and so those kind of things. I started asking a lot of questions about it, and we have been discussing a lot about it.
Did you also work with how these cultural behaviors works in the work environment?
Sorry?
Did you also work with how these cultural differences that you just mentioned, how these transformed in the workplace?
Yeah, somehow, as you see, as I told you, one is majorly how kind of a decision making, like
Yeah.
what kind of how the decision making will happen
Yeah.
from Finnish people. So how do they take decisions,
Right.
and what kind of circumstances, and these things are really helping. And then when you're in a meeting,
Yes.
what kind of things that you need to lead, and what kind of things you
Yeah.
need to go behind and ask them to speak. So this is somehow helping in my
Right.
work
Did
area.
did
And then also the risk part, like in general, like there is a risk probability and then mitigation, and like how people are like in terms of taking a risk,
Yeah.
and then in the tasks, and so
Yeah.
it's also helping me accordingly. But my boss, he's having some kind of a global profile. So even though he's Finnish, he's not exactly like the same culture. So he could adapt for all. So that was not a big challenge for me so far.
All right. Did you work with sort of your own self-awareness of your cultural background, and then um, sort of see that in relation to how the new culture would be?
Uh, yes, definitely. What I have done was I just initially did some kind of base groundwork, and then I made myself the ground rules. Whatever is match with my culture,
Yeah.
and then what could be relevant, like family wise. Like how people also live in the same way, like in India, people get married and then live in this way. This is a normal personal lifestyle. This I understood, and then I was trying to match with it, and then I was trying to find out some of the different cultures like sauna and other stuffs which we don't have, completely.
Yeah.
It is not as in India. So I was trying to find out this kind of major gaps, and
Yeah.
then I have been discussed myself and my family to say that okay, so how to react and how to behave on those cases if something comes like this.
Yeah, so you found that helped you, being aware of your own cultural background and then putting that
Exactly.
into, yeah, good. All in all, were you satisfied with the cultural training that you received?
Yeah, on an average, I would say that this was really, kind of a good training
Yeah.
for if I've been coming as a first time, then it would be much more benefit for me. And I don't know, somehow I've been working throughout almost 10 years with these people, stakeholders. For me, of course, I know 60 to 70% what we have discussed, and
Yeah.
but that still helps me a lot, and that still help my wife a lot. That she's first time she's moving. That's really helpful.
Right. So did you think that you maybe needed something, that there was something they didn't go through that you would have liked them to go through?
Yeah, basically what I see is when you see as a cultural training, of course there are certain standard things, but what I wanted to know is that it is also important if I'm a person who is moving, just from my point of view, what I will do just in a normal life, what I will do, I will just in the morning I will go to the office, and then evening come and I will just go to some places outside, and during the summer vacation I will just go to some many places, and apart from all I would be in need of getting a lot of connection with the social security, and then hospital, and then some of these events or some kind of education related connectivities. So I feel the cultural or maybe it is not maybe a cultural related, might be some of the information could be given along with how the education system, because that's also part of the culture, like what was the kind of a study and things that you have a benefit. And then the same way, during the summer vacation or during the vacation, how the leaves and things were taken, and then how you need to adapt, because one important thing what I would like to give as a comment is wherever you go and take the cultural training, you should know that how these people are, because it's mostly dark at the time of the winter, and in the summer it's mostly, you will have a full sun.
Yeah.
And then people also take the vacation from this to this, and then this is also kind of part of cultural training. So they should also advise in such a way, like they would recommend that they would take these leaves from here to here, and why they take the summer vacation, which is most important, and why people are spending most of the time, in summer they don't want to be in office, or why they want to have a long vacation.
Yeah.
There must be some reason behind it, and then the same way, I don't know. So there might be some kind of things, because in India, what we do is we have a couple of more festivals, and then what we do, this kind of vacations, we don't take, as a whole.
No.
We take as and when we need. It's like 4 days, 5 days, and after December, Christmas time, we take 5 days, and the second week of January, we take 5 days. So something like this, we used to take holidays.
Okay.
And then when there was a cultural training explaining that, okay, this is how it is formed, and then due to the summer, and this is how people are considering this also as cultural things, that they would always, everybody would love to go for a vacation and this and that. So why it's happening, something in this nation, something. So that could be giving some idea, and then I would try to make the same, or I would try to follow the same. Might be sometimes I would think that, okay, it's just like everybody would like to go for a vacation in a year. That's it. Then I would say, then I want to have my own vacation as when I want. But it is not that way. If I take a vacation along with them, then what are the things that I would learn? That is the most opportunity that I would have a option to mingle with many people.
Yeah.
That helps a lot, rather than if I take a vacation other time. It's not as a benefit.
No.
So towards just something, it's very small. But other than that, it's perfectly fine.
All right. Do you, when you had the day of cultural training, what kind of methods did the trainer use to work with you? Were it just a dialogue, or did she have films or movies, case studies?
They had. I think he has a presentation. He brought the presentation in his pen drive, and then he has a laptop also.
Yeah.
And then I used to connect that with my TV, and then we went through with each presentation what he was going through, and he was going through with a lot of examples, like in neighborhood, like how he used to even sometimes he takes some examples for the situations that he faced, and that is really nice to know about it.
Yeah. Did they?
But it went with PPT, presentation.
It was mostly presentation, so you didn't use really any sort of role play or simulations or something that could.
There are certain exercises. Like we went through one situation, and then there was a question, and then he was asking like, how will you react in this case? And then we used to react in this, and then he will tell, but Finnish people could react like this also. Okay,
perfect.
Yeah, something like that.
Your teacher, was he Finnish, or did he have?
He's Rana Singh. He was an Indian, but he converted here almost 30 years ago. He was almost a Finnish guy, married a Finnish lady. So he settled down in Helsinki.
Yeah, he was very relevant to you. So both from India and then moving to Finland.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you?
So somehow, I think I did all of. I don't know. Somehow that's the reason I think they have connected with me.
Yeah.
Could be more comfortable. I don't know.
Did you find that you developed sort of a trust relationship with your trainer? Did he reveal something about himself, and then make it feel like it was more of an intimate relationship where you could share and
Yeah, it's just like on the day, but even when it goes after he went, he shared a couple of things. He was quite happy, and also he was being always ready to help me anytime, and I can just call him, and that was like we are connected in Facebook something, and that was good. And also from my side, I'm as I told you, I have been really busy after coming just after a week, and then even still now, last week I was in Denmark, and I'm only here this week. Next week I'm going to Italy, and then I'm in Denmark. So it's just like a lot of travel with a lot of deliverables and things and that. So I'm really finding 1 or 2 days, maybe 1 week in a month. I'm just in this office and trying to find the solutions, just to try to reply all the common mails at this time. So really, I didn't find an opportunity to call him, but I'm sure. I think it's a kind of a good intermediate relationship.
Yeah. So he felt sort of like a mentor position for you. Could you say that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you still have contact with him on and off.
He's not. No, after the meeting, like after the training, we just sent an email, and after that, it was not. We didn't really contact after that.
Oh, okay.
But it was like he said, like you can contact me anytime, but I didn't contact, to be frank.
Okay, but you had the opportunity to do that if it had been like your first time out.
Yeah, in case, yes. In case if I have something, I think I can call him.
Okay. Did you feel like you were more efficient in filling your position faster and getting into your role faster now that you had gotten the cultural training?
I don't know. I can answer precisely.
No?
If it has to be connected towards my cultural training, because as I told you, just 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and I'm here. And as I am also here when I'm working with this global role, and then in this case, there are a couple of things which is happening at global level where it really doesn't make any impact so far. Yeah. And I'm sure now I'm started meeting with the people over here, and then I'm just started also thinking of this learning Finnish language. So I'm sure I'll be getting more and more in the close future.
Yeah. Okay. Did you feel like Danfoss did enough for you in the cultural training? I know you had experience with it before, so maybe that's why you didn't need more.
No, I think from Danfoss' point of view, it was really a great, maybe I would say privilege to the expats, because I'm not sure how the other companies does, but Danfoss will make sure that the employee, when they transform, they would get all the they would like to get the learnings also from these people, because we don't know many things when you come. No. And then it's all like you will be learning and you'll be experienced, and then so this kind of due to this kind of program, you will also get already the people who have experienced so many situations. Then it is a kind of a immediate learning for you.
Yeah.
So that's really important. So all the lessons learned so far, then you get it from the experts. So.
Okay. Do you have Danfoss in any way evaluated on your cultural program or what you've gotten out of it?
Yes, it's not only this. Actually, in Danfoss, we have been driving another cultural. It's not a training; it's a kind of an assessment workshop. So we do this cultural workshop with I forget the site. it was a kind of with vendor we have associated, and then across world for all countries we have done this cultural workshop.
Okay.
And it was being led by some of our leader, and then we got all the questions like related to task, related to profile, related to the cultural and all these things, how people thinks. And anyway, if you pick your name, and if you pick somebody from Finland and Denmark, then in that particular website you can go and see how your thoughts on these questions is matching with the other people and what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And also you can pick the country, so it tells what the country people, most of the people from country, what they think about this question.
Okay.
So already this is happening, and then through that I could raise some questions to the cultural training that happened to me.
Yeah.
Because before I take the training, I had this workshop, and then I have my own input, and I have mapped with already Denmark and also Finland, and then with those questions I asked something towards the trainer.
Okay. Right, so it was more of like a of more help to you sort of thing, where you get to
it was just a kind of a real value added of what I have done earlier, and then with that I could raise some questions specifically towards Finland.
Okay, perfect. Just yeah, I think that was actually mostly what I had. Do you have anything to add to what you've experienced, what you thought might be nice to do otherwise?
Because now it seems like mostly you are focusing on related to cultural training, right? What
Yes.
I experienced.
Yeah.
That was the interest area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in that way, this is perfectly fine. This is really good in terms of, and then I would say this definitely people should take, and there is an opportunity that we can also take before. But what I would say is, just based on my experience,
Yeah.
if you take this cultural training after you moved, maybe in a month,
Yeah.
then this will be more valuable. You
Yeah.
can have a lot of questions,
Yeah.
based on your practical, and then in a pragmatic way, then this question could be.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you
Yeah.
very, very much. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you, and good luck.
Oh, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day. Bye.
Bye.